21 tháng 9 là đúng nha. Em học trường gì? Em học đại học quốc gia. Cho bạn ý viết liền. Em mới chưa có gì bạn coi. Em đang chưa có. Đây món quà này bạn đeo luôn vào tay nhé. Bạn đeo nó tiêu vào lấy này.
Myself and then our honored guest will have some question period that you can ask questions of either myself or our special guest. And then we'll have a mingling session in which you get to go and have free drinks and free food and free snacks. Unless you don't take notes, because there's a test after. You know, the guests we have up here on the platform, special guest from Ireland, specifically from Dundalk Institute of Technology, is Miss Eimear. And she will be doing the first part of the presentation, which will all be about, in general, study in Ireland, and specifically what Dundalk has to offer. And then I will follow that up with a short presentation on the IELTS special course. And then we will have our question and answer. I'd also like to introduce Mr. Bùng, who will be our star translator for Ms. Eimear, and Ms. Láng Hạ, who is going to translate for me if any of you don't understand what I'm saying. Which probably means half of my IELTS special. I hope you find it very informative. So I'd like you to introduce now Ms. Eimear from Dundalk Institute of Technology, and she's going to take you through her presentation. Ms. Eimear.
Hi, Pepper. Thank you all for coming today. So I'm gonna, as Ben said, I'll just talk to you a bit about Ireland first. Has Ben told you much about Ireland? Do you know much? Nod or yes? No? A little bit? I'll tell you a little bit about Ireland first, and then I'll tell you about we're the top 20 tourist destination in the world. And so this is Dublin City. So we have both our modern cities, and we've also kept our beautiful countrysides. So there's many sites to go and see, with many cathedrals and churches, beautiful high cliffs and the cliffs of Moher on the west of Ireland. So it's a beautiful country, and people come from all over the world to see our beautiful green fields and hills, and we're beaches. You're never far from a beach. It might be quite cold. It is one of the only 2 countries in Europe who speak English as our first language. So it's an excellent country to receive your education through English. And as you see, Ireland's just at the edge of Europe. I always say it's shaped like a teddy bear. And so if you wanted to travel while you were in Ireland, in the world. Also of pharmaceuticals, we are also the 2nd largest exporter of pharmaceuticals in the world. So some of our best industries would be computing, pharmaceuticals, but also financial services. 1.4 trillion worth of funds goes through Ireland every year, and we have the top financial service companies in Ireland, international companies such as Deloitte, Accenture. So if you studied in Ireland, it's an excellent opportunity to then work for any of these international companies. So just some pop culture. Ben played some river dance. These aren't going to work. So in Ireland, Ben played the river dance. It's huge. They travel all throughout the world, and many people love to go and see them. One Direction, only one of One Direction is from Ireland, the nice blonde guy on the end, but we take pride in all of our villages in that far Northern Ireland. There's beautiful sights to see all around Ireland. So this is just to show you the different levels you can start at in our university. I have a better slide further on, so I'll explain it in a minute. So just to tell you the unique selling points that Dundalk has. We're government funded. What that means is the government gives our Institute of Technology funds each year. So for students, it means you receive the same quality of education you would anywhere in the world, just at a reduced cost. And we have excellent facilities on campus. Recently, the government invested 38 million into our campus, which is the most they have invested in any campus in Ireland. We built our informatics and creative arts building, which has the latest computer software technology. We have music software, we have recording studios on campus, we have the latest Macs, we have the latest technology on campus for students. We have great value for money. Because we're not one of the larger cities, it means living expenses. So accommodation, buying food is cheaper than if you were to live in, say, Dublin or London or any of the other big cities around the world. We have excellent scholarships, which I will talk about in a minute. So work experience, many of our courses come with work experience, which is brilliant once you leave Ireland. If you have experience working in Ireland, it will really beef up your CV. So just the 4 different schools we have on campus. We have our informatics and creative arts. This is our computing, our music, video and film, and our multimedia courses. We have our School of Health and Science, our School of Engineering, and our largest school is our School of Business and Humanities. At the moment, that figure is incorrect. We have 6,000 students on campus. 10% of those are international students. Now, we like to keep it at 10%, so students will increase their English skills and they don't just go off with their counterparts and speak their own language, because then it's just a waste coming to Ireland. On ordinary degree, for 3 years, you get extra teaching, and then in your 4th year, you do an honours degree. You can also start off with a straight honours degree if you wish. So our minimum requirements is a 5.5 in the IELTS, which I'm sure most people have here. For an ordinary degree and for an honours degree, it is a 6 in the IELTS. So then if you wish to stay with us, you can do masters and also PhD levels. For people who have lower IELTS scores, so say, for example, if you needed a 6 and you got a 5.5, I suppose because you all study English here, but if you were to do a foundation, which is the lower level, if you got 4.5 or 5, which I don't think anyone here, what's the, no one had a 4 low IELTS here, do they? No. Good. Ben's an excellent teacher, so we don't need to discuss this side. So our scholarships, which is the important part, and we have excellent scholarships if you want to study a degree course with us. So we have 3 main ones for degree courses. The first one is a financial €100, and you would have free accommodation for the first 3 years. Once you went into year 4, you get 50% off your course fees, which comes out at $5,100 for the year. In Ireland, we're one of the friendliest countries. Lonely Planet voted us as the friendliest country in the world, so it's really easy to make friends in Ireland. We usually hang out in groups, so you talk to one Irish person, they'll introduce you to all their friends. So it's really easy to make friends, and we like to hang out with everybody in our course. And one thing, does anyone know the difference between a university and an institute of technology? Yes, no? No, most people don't. Then the main difference, it's not in quality, it's not what you receive, it's just in the courses that we started out providing for students. So in an institute of technology, it's more technical based, so you do computing, you do sciences, you do engineering, and you do business. Whereas in a university, you do more arts, you do medicine, you do law, you do linguistics, so it's just the different types of courses. If you get a degree in an institute of technology, it is the same quality as if you got a degree in a university. There's no difference, it's just one is more technical based. So for practical subjects, institutes of technology are better because you get more practical skills that you will use as soon as you start your job. Also, we have smaller class sizes. So we can have as little as 15 students in one class. In a university, you can have over 200-300 people in a class. So for a student, it means the teacher can spend time with you individually. If anybody's struggling, they know it straight away. If you're in a large class, a lecturer doesn't have time to spend on one student. It's also great for making friends, because when there's 15, 20, 30 people in your class, you know everybody. So there's a lot of group work, so it's really easy for making friends and getting to know people. It's also great for getting away from writing loads and loads of study notes. So in my final year, there was 25 people in my class for the first 3 years of my course. In our final year, we all got together, split up making the study notes, so I did the study notes for one topic. So I have economy. So I did it for one area of economy, then we broke it up, there was about 10 of us, and that means we spent more time learning the work rather than spending hours and hours writing notes, which is extremely boring. And so just the different schools, our largest school is our business school. And so what we offer is normally it takes 4 years in Ireland to do an honours degree. We have 2 courses where you can get an honours in 3 years. This is our accounting and finance and our Bachelor of Business. So if you have a 6 in your IELTS and a GPA of 7.5, and you can do our Bachelor in accounting and finance, finish that in 3 years, and you get exemptions then from your ACCA exams as well. Also the same for the business, you do that in 3 years. If you wish to progress then and do a postgraduate, you can do that with us also. The rest of our courses are, we do PR. For master programs, if you haven't studied through English before, we do our upgrade to a master's. Excuse me. So what it is you do 1 year at a level 8, and then you go on to do the masters. The reason we did this is because we had students who came over and tried to go directly into masters, having never studied through English before, and it did not work out at all for them. Masters is very demanding, even for people who speak English as a first language, so that's why we offer this upgrade program. Now, if you want an advanced entry, so if you wanted to get into year 2 or year 3, if you studied here, it's the same process applies for application. And so we have 3 masters that run every year. The word taught means it doesn't run every year. So for our postgraduate, the 3 courses that do run every year are our entrepreneurship and marketing, our accounting, and the renewable energy systems. This is for people who study engineering. And the reason why they don't all run every year is because sometimes you don't have enough students to fill the places, but every year those courses run, which means they're the only good options for international students, because you don't want to be told a week before you go that your course doesn't exist anymore. So those 3 courses are definite every single year. Doctor, that's when your health insurance kicks in. It covers you for anything more than €100. So that means is you have to go to a GP, is what you want to be, is it? GP, general doctor?
Not an ophthalmologist.
Specialty ophthalmologist.
Oh wow, to 1,000 or 1,000,000, you only have to pay at most €100. So your health insurance, we provide a great program. Usually health insurance costs 300 or so. Mine was definitely more expensive than 150. And our career service, all these services are free except you have to pay for your dinner in the restaurant, which someone asked me. So for your career service, we give seminars during the year on how to apply for jobs or interview skills. We help you create your CV. And if you're looking for jobs once you've finished in college, we also help you with that process. And sports clubs and societies, we have over 70. So we have go-karting, archery, the normal ones, football, basketball, yoga. If there's a club that doesn't exist that you want, you can start one as well. There's so many clubs and societies. And we have a bank on campus, so when you arrive in Ireland, we help you set up your bank account. There's an ATM and currency exchange there as well. And sports facilities, so we have a gym on campus, which is €50, which is really cheap for the whole year. But we also bought a really big gym down the road, and it has an ice rink and it has an indoor soccer dome. So excellent facilities there as well. We have over 7 restaurants and bars. In the restaurant, we have different types. I think the main thing for international students to know is our international office. They're there to help you with anything for these services. So our pre-departure information, you know everything you need to know before you come to Ireland. We give you a SIM card, so you have a phone number before you leave Vietnam, so your parents can have that number, so as soon as you arrive in Ireland, you can ring your parents, let them know you got there safe, and keep in contact with them. And there's credit on the phone as well, so you don't have to worry about trying to pay. So if you get our free accommodation scholarship, or whether you don't, we still arrange your accommodation before you come to Ireland. So everything is sorted before you leave Vietnam. And so just a little bit about living costs. As I mentioned, everybody needs to have their medical health insurance. So rent, if you're not getting free accommodation, rent is considerably cheaper in Dundalk than it is elsewhere. So it can start from €55 to at most 75 per week. In Dublin or somewhere else, it's over €100. And so all our accommodation, we have apartments on campus, but there's also houses outside of campus. They're all 10 minutes away. So you don't have to get buses, you don't have to worry about getting into the college. Our living expenses, so we say budget about €70 per week. Now, I never spent €70 in a week, and I drove, and petrol is quite expensive. And if you're living with other people, you share the cost of food. This is considering what Irish people usually go out about twice a week, so it's including social expenses. So going out with your friends to the cinema or having a few drinks in Ireland. So working in Dundalk. So if you want to work while you're studying, you can. You can work part-time during the time your course is on, so during the term. You can work for 20 hours, and when you don't have classes, you can work full-time for 40 hours. The minimum wage in Ireland is $8.65, which is one of the highest minimum wages in Europe. So that's really good pay. So in fact, if you worked part-time while you were studying, it would cover your living expenses. We do not suggest that you work as soon as you get to Ireland. You should settle in first, get used to the environment and how your study works, and then maybe in the second semester or the second year get a job. So one of the good things about studying in Ireland is once you get your honours degree or your master's, you can automatically stay in Ireland for 12 months, so for a year. You don't have to have a job for this year, you can spend this time looking for work. So you can look for work, and if you find a job, if you have scholarships that attract students, so we have a low cost, but we say come for the cost, but stay for the quality. Irish education is internationally recognised, and if you go anywhere in Europe, in the Western world, anywhere in the world, people recognise Irish education as one of the best in the world. So we have good quality. So we offer a lot with regards to a safe environment for students. Our guards, our police are called Garda. They don't carry guns or anything if you have any issues, if you're lost. One, you can ask someone on the road, or you can ask a guard. Irish people are very friendly. It's a safe, it's a very fun environment as well for making friends. So you can do your hard study, but you can also have a great time with your many friends. I'd like to thank you all for listening, and I'll pass it back to Dave.
International students. Oh, I want to study abroad about this. Yeah, if you ask Ben, there's some other institutions and universities that do offer it for international students, but it's a new course for us, so it's not yet available for international students. Do you want to study in Ireland?
Yes, I really want to study in Ireland because first I think that I will come to America because I have my part of my family live in California, so that is the reason why I choose California to study. But I think Ireland is a beautiful country and peaceful and friendly country, so I like it. I want to study in Ireland, but my major
when you come, I'll bring you for dinner. I will go see a lot of things. Okay? Thank you very much.
Chụp ảnh nhá, chụp ảnh cái này mọi chị để cho bên chị biết bài cho buổi sự kiện hôm nay. because I'm sure that that's it. How to get Smartcom? The other question you should have is, you write that specifically about the TESOL.
Yes.
So if you tell me about the TESOL certificate and say, okay, how can I study in Ireland or overseas and obtain a master's in TESOL, even though I'm Vietnamese, and then I will find that information for you and I'll tell you where you can get it. Okay? It used to be in the old days that to get TESOL certification you had to be a native English speaker, and many colleges still have that rule, but there are other colleges that don't. All right, and I can find those out for you. So if you're able to write that for me, and I have your return mail, then I'll give you that information. Okay, for sure. Yeah, I can't tell you exactly right now, but I would think probably at one of the universities.